Hi there. My name is David Quiroz, and this is the Sandbox Social. I'm just here doing some quick art, but let's get started. We're back. This is the Sandbox Social, where we talk all things early childhood. And if you remember from our last show, I talked about how much I love the fall. And today we're in the studio, but we're gonna talk about actually being out and about in community. I have two great guests who are gonna talk to us a little bit about our topic, home visiting, and what that's all about. So I wanna introduce my guests to you. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Vivi Luna. I'm the supervisor for a home visiting program here in Aurora. A little bit about me. I've always been interested and loved working with children ages 0 to 5. Like, that's my jam.
Yes.
I have a teaching experience in preschool, so 25 plus years.
Yeah.
We want to say that too loud. What else? It's right now I'm just loving working with families and their children.
Yeah, so important. From the classroom now into the home.
Yep. Or from the home to the classroom.
Yeah, from the home to the classroom, yeah.
Hi, my name is Isabel Garcia. I'm the coordinated intake for all of King County's home visiting programs. And just a little bit about myself. I've been in the social services field for quite a while, but actually this is my first role that focused on early childhood, and I really love it. I don't see myself going into any other area. I would really like to stay in early childhood.
Yeah, you're in it. I love that. I love that. So we're talking about home visiting today, and Vivi, can you kind of explain for our viewers who aren't familiar with that, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so home visiting is a program that partners with families who have children under the age of 3, and it's really my elevator speech is, we are the parents' coach and cheerleader at the same time, right? I like to say, when you leave the hospital, they give you the baby and they're like, bye.
Yeah.
You get home and then you're thinking okay, what's next? And I say to the parents, we're what's next, you know? So home visiting is just, again, partnering with the parents, providing them developmental information so they can support their children's developmental milestones, reaching them. Research states that there's 3 areas that need to be well in the home, right? Family well-being, right?
Yeah.
Parent-child interactions, and development-centered parenting. They don't teach us that in the hospital, so
right.
That's why I feel home visiting is so important. We partner up with families. The visits are probably, our commitment is 2 visits per month. The parent chooses the time and date with their individual parent educator. We just have fun.
I love that. And I'm going to echo a word that I heard you say a couple of times, parents, right?
Yes,
Parenting.
that's where it's at.
And that's that bridge, and we've talked about that on the show 100%. So let's, and this is a question for both of you, in the system, right, that we have here in King County locally, parents have their child, maybe the child is 16, 8 months old, and maybe they have some concerns. Maybe they're kind of wondering, they have some questions, right? They don't have the handbook. What are the steps to get to you? How do they engage with a home visitor?
Yeah. Do you want to start, Isabel? Because
Sure.
it kind of starts with you.
Yeah. So I mean, part of my role is really to help put the word out there of home visiting programs. So you will see me in a lot of different community events promoting this great program that Vivi was just describing, that it's free. They will start with families from pregnancy up until their child's third birthday, and really just trying to make it easier for them to find us. So we do a lot of like using QR codes where families can fill out the referral form from that flyer. And also, you know, if I'm at an event and you're interested, give me your phone number. I'll reach out to you. We'll continue the conversation, and I will help connect you with a program in your area that is able to provide those services. So just trying to put the word out there and make it as easy as possible for families to find us.
Yeah, and Aurora is super blessed that both sides of town have a home visiting program.
Yeah.
And I want to say, would you agree, Isabel? It's the best kept secret.
Yes.
Not all families are aware that this even exists, you know. But yeah, I mean, who doesn't need support when we're a parent?
Right, 100%. How many home visiting programs are in our county?
So in King County, there's a total of 12 home visiting programs.
Right?
Yes. Incredible. So here in the Aurora area, we have 5 programs that cover our area. And then in the northern part, we have the other 7 programs. And together, they help cover the middle of the county. Okay. And as Vivi mentioned, it's like a hidden gem because as I previously mentioned, this is my first role in early childhood. And this is the first time that I heard about home visiting.
Wow.
And, you know, I have family members, friends that have had babies, and I did not know this was a thing. I would have mentioned it to them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you talked about a little bit about how people find out. So, you know, I meet you, I contact you, I give you my contact information. In an ideal world, then what is that transition to me ending up meeting Vivi and working with someone from her team?
You want to start?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, in an ideal world, I would say the first thing that comes to mind is no wait lists. Having enough slots for the entire county if necessary. Right. Having home visitors that speak the different languages. So that to me would be in an ideal world, because that's a lot of times you know, it can cause barriers for the families if they don't know about the service, and then, well, now you have to wait a month or whatever it may be.
Yes. So once children reach out to Isabel and the King County office, they are able to, according to the child's or family address, they will, you know, either refer to East Aurora, West Aurora, whatever other, you know, area in Aurora. And that's pretty smooth. What I don't know is, do many people know about coordinated intake? Right? So for our program, the ideal would be families know that there's this service, right, as a support, that they would just, like, and she hit it on the nail, like no waiting list, no waiting list. And really getting the word around is, I think, key to any parent coming, whether a first-time parent, you know, their 5th child. Every time a baby enters the family, like, it's a new family. Things have to change. So in an ideal world, everybody would know that there's these type of services. Yeah.
So, and I'm going to go off script a little bit. So you call, you contact, right? Whether it be the program directly or coordinated intake, and then you're assigned a home visitor that then is the one who works with you and works with scheduling and coming out and getting to know your child. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So actually, the way we run our program is each family will be assigned to one parent educator, and they get to work with the family. If they sign up prenatal, from prenatal it's up to age 3. So that's amazing, because then there's time to build a relationship, right? Yeah. And really support one another. So once families reach out to us, there's an intake process. We offer a developmental screening so they can see, oh, is my baby on task? You know, and after that, it's just trying to get everything into the system as fast as possible. for our program, where they do need to register before, and then there's an intake, right? That's like where you start the family file. So yeah.
And I just want to mention, David, all of the different home visiting programs have different requirements. So sometimes they're only for first-time parents, or sometimes they prefer to have parents that are like maybe 24 years and younger, because they might not, they really might need more support. So all of those different things is kind of where I come in, so that I can help figure that out. And the family's not trying to figure out, well, what program should I be reaching out to? And do I call this person or do I call that person? That way you just call me, I figure all of that out for you, who has openings, who has Spanish speaking home visitors, and also if there's any other resources that they need to be connected with, I can also do that for them as well, so they're not calling 5-10 different places, whatever that may be.
Yeah, what a critical role that is, Isabel, that you play in coordinating intake, right? You're really helping families not have to be on the phone and doing this research on their own. That's incredible. What advice would you give our viewers, and like, you know, a simple thing like this, a low cost activity that anyone can do that would really, really just blossom for children?
So a lot of times as parents, we like to get things done fast. So we're not taking the baby with us. We're not letting them try to put on their jacket, or like, we're just like, can you watch them? I'm gonna go grocery shopping. Can you check? I gotta go run an errand. But that is the most impactful experience that children 0 to 5 can have. There's vocabulary that we use when we're at the post office that we don't use at home. There's vocabulary that is presented at the grocery store that we don't always use at home. You know, so I think if anything, talk with your child about everything. Language. Even when it feels like they don't know what I'm saying. But, you know, not only are you making that connection with them, you know, attachment, they're also getting those sounds so that they later can also produce them. And, you know, I mean, having vocabulary is key. And like I said, once they get experience in other environments, it's amazing.
Reading, right? Exposing them to new words. You know, these are all themes that have come up in past shows, and I think it's really important how we intertwine them, no matter what the program is. The importance of language, the importance of literacy and reading, and all these things.
And you know what? Reading is amazing, but baby books are expensive. Very expensive, right?
They are.
So that way, I mean, if you're just talking to your baby, if you're changing the diaper, if you're washing the dishes while you're preparing the meal, or just even out and about in the car, you know, like, that's gonna hit it. Your baby will be set up for high school, career, college, and career.
Long term. I love it. Absolutely, 100%. Isabel, I want to go back to something with you. With the coordinated intake, in your role, where do you see the majority of referrals coming from? I'm curious, do you do like pediatricians? Do people talk about this with their pediatricians? Is it mostly through the schools? Is it through other programs? Again, how kind of looking at the entire landscape, where do families go most often when they have those questions of, I don't know if my child is on track, or I have these questions?
So you would think from the doctor's office, right?
I would assume.
But I mean, how many times have we been to the doctor and we see them for 5 minutes? So they don't typically go over some of the things that we, you know, really want answered. And the amazing thing is that the referrals typically come from families that have already been in the program. So it kind of goes to show you that families are seeing that impact in their child's development, and they're spreading the word. They always say that, you know, when you hear and experience that somebody has had a good experience, that really makes a difference. Like even when I'm looking at like going anywhere, like a restaurant, whatever it may be, I'm always looking at the reviews. If I see something that I'm kind of like, I don't know about that, I'm not gonna go there, right? So it's the same thing with the home visiting programs. A lot of those referrals are just coming from other families that are currently enrolled or have previously had a child enrolled in the program.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So you mentioned 12 different programs here locally in our county. How do you coordinate with them? I mean, what do you have meetings that you meet with them, every couple of months? How are you communicating with the whole group? Are they able to kind of engage with each other, things like that?
So we do have a home visiting collaborative, and I will say in King County, we're very fortunate that there is a good communication amongst the different home visiting programs that there are. And for the home visiting collaborative, we meet 3 times a year. So typically 2 of those meetings are with the supervisors, kind of going over what's been happening in each other's programs. Are we fully what is it? Sorry, I lost my thought. Are slots full? Do we have slots available? Are we seeing like a trend of resources that families are starting to look for, and different things like that? And then the last home visiting meeting, we invite home visitors, supervisors. A part of that also, we invite all our kids from King County, early intervention. So not just the home visiting programs are a part of our collaborative, but also other programs that are serving children at that crucial age. And we like to do workshops, trainings, talking about different topics, not just to support the work that they're doing with families, but also to support them, because we all know burnout is a thing that can cause a high turnaround for our staff. So we really want those home visitors to also be taken care of, because they're the ones going to the homes. They're the ones that are hearing the different needs that families have, and they can sometimes take that with them as well. So just supporting everybody is really what the collaborative is about.
Yeah, that's great that we have that, and I hope other communities have something similar, right? Communication amongst these agencies is very important. We want the no wrong door for families, right? They're going to be connected, and like you do in your role specifically, to whatever services they need. So it's important for agencies to kind of be aware of each other and know their capacities and things like that. Vivi, talk to me. So you, your team go into the home. I mean, I'm thinking in our community, the level of diversity that exists, both culturally, linguistically. I mean, you have to build some rapport with these parents. You have to build trust, and that takes time. Talk to me a little bit about how the team does that. How folks training. I mean, who are these home visitors? And they must be superheroes.
I think so. So with us having such a diverse community here, we always try to make sure that our staff represents what our community looks like, right? It's important for building trust. Who's going to open the door and just say, yeah, come in? Not everybody. But obviously, there's a training. We use Parents as Teachers curriculum. That's an international program for home visiting. So, and when you can tell, hey, parentsastteachers.org. And they can put in their zip code and find a program. But so there's training that we go through. And of course, we have a team that there's longevity, right? So throughout their experience, they're getting opportunities to work with children with Down syndrome, children with autism or on the spectrum, children who the parents are like, I do not know, but I think something is off. So aside from program training, there's also training that addresses certain populations. But really where I think that relationship building starts is weekly visiting for the first couple months. You know, you're getting to know the parent, but they're also getting to know you. You know, and you want them to feel comfortable with you. And really, as we have these opportunities to go in the home, that's where we see, right, what the family culture is, what the expectations are there, so that we can also be more respectful and really honor our families where they're at, you know?
Are there opportunities to bring parents together, right? Because you're going into their home and you're working with them in their home, and there's so much value in that space, in their comfort space. But equally, I'm thinking with parents really being the focus and right, helping them and training them and giving them these skills, are there opportunities for them to come together at all?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I think this is like history in the making. Our program has an infant toddler playground. Okay. In the program I work with, we have open play every Wednesday. Come in, hang out with other parents. Awesome. You know, children need to be exposed to other children so their social skills can start building and practicing. An awesome part also is group connections. So to us, we call them baby and me field trips. So, you know, we get together as parents, you know, who's down to go to the farm or who's down to go to Red Oak Nature Center. You know, we usually try to provide lunch so that, I mean, carrying a diaper bag is already enough, right? So then, you know, they get opportunities to do that there. And really part of home visiting is to allow parents to make those connections, you know. We all, I think, come to the moment where, oh, it's not just me. You know, and then parents, parenting, I think it's sometimes so isolated. Yes. You know, and I don't think families or communities realize, right? You're with your child at home. Probably the other kids are in school. Your partner's working. So you don't have adult interaction, right? Until somebody comes home. And usually, you know, it's a rush after work day, dinner, cleaning, laundry. So yeah, connection is key, because I like to remind parents, right? These are the children and these are the parents that are going to be at the high school with you. Right. So we know that building connections, not just with each other, but having that confidence that, oh, I know that lady, you know.
I've seen her.
I've seen her before. You know, I mean, just seeing your kids grow up together, it's amazing.
That's such a great point. Absolutely. My daughter was participating in a home visiting program, and it was during COVID. So it was all over Zoom, and we didn't have these opportunities to engage. So I always was kind of left with that little like, oh, I wish I could get to talk to other dads who also have a 2-year-old or 1-year-old, and build that. And again, because of the times, but I think that's great that it exists, and hopefully more programs do things like that.
You mentioned dads, so I gotta add something, right? So there are many dads that are involved with their young children, and if parenting alone feels isolated, being the dad, right? There's a lot of times families who are participating in programs, like it's the moms out there, right? Or the grandmas. But yeah, I think once dads can also connect with other dads, I mean, that's so empowering. So empowering.
100%.
Shout out to dads.
Shout out to dads, always on the show. You just made me think, you know, I don't know if either of you know this, but I actually started my professional career as a home visitor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Back when I was in college, got trained parents as teachers, and they brought me in to work with the Spanish-speaking population in central Illinois, where I was going to school. And I was doing home visits in between classes, and it was great. I was a senior, and the connection that I made with the dads when they saw the home visitor be a male. I'm right there with you.
I mean, and in early childhood, it's, you know, kind of dominated by women.
Yeah, absolutely.
So children need to be able to see male figures that are also nurturing, that are
Yes.
also encouraging, that are
100%.
also involved and engaged. So, yeah, shout out to dads.
We're going to have a whole show around that. at
I
some
think you
point.
should
Yes,
have
we
just bring
absolutely
some
will.
dads in
Yes.
for some testimonials.
This is great. I want to, Isabel, I want to ask you one not my last question, but this is a massive, this is a lot of work, right? All these different components and all these different programs. If you in your role could make it simpler for you and for the parents, if you had a button, an easy button, what's one thing you would do to make it simpler for parents and for you in managing all the programs and a little bit how you mentioned they're all a little bit different, right? Depending on their funding or where they're located, what have you. Is there something that you, if it was this way, it'd save me a lot of time?
That's a good question. That's something that I haven't really thought about. But just one of my biggest things is I wish that home visiting was available to everyone, not just, do you receive WIC or are you a first-time parent? Just available to everyone, because everyone can use this program. It's not just because you need SNAP or WIC and you need extra resources, so you need this parenting educator with you or family support specialist with you. No, I think everyone, it doesn't matter what race you are, what's your social economic status. That to me would be the easy button. And I know it might not necessarily answer your question the way you were looking for, but that always comes to mind, because to me it's like, why does, so do I have to make less money? Like, tell my job, give me one less day so I can apply to WIC and be eligible for this program. No, we want to empower families. We want to help them, so that to me would be the easy button, especially because children's brain develops the most their first 3 years, 80%. So why not offer it to everyone?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Universal, right?
Yes.
Make it universal. And hopefully, again, there are similar programs wherever you're listening to us, watching us, and your communities have not advocate for them. Parents as teachers.
Yes, I wanted to add on to what's our easy button. I think just if the communities knew, right? The mayor's office, the chamber office, the, VNA, the clinics, like everybody, if they knew, could you imagine? That would be amazing. Supporting parents from prenatal up to, 5-year-olds, like that's setting the foundation, right?
Absolutely.
Reaching one's full potential, that's such early.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why this space is so important, because we want to continue to help bring awareness to all the different programs, all the different components that make up just being a parent, having a child, and how a lot of these themes are universal, no matter where you're located, no matter what country you live in. As we're coming to the end, I just want to ask, because you both have I think, very neat jobs, very, very important jobs. If you could step back in time, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self about this job, the one that you particularly have now, kind of in preparation? What's some wisdom or warnings that you would share?
I'll let you go.
How do you get ready for this job?
So that's a really hard question for me, because I've been working with children since I was 12 years old. So I got involved in church. You don't want to go to the little kids class anymore because you're really tall. So you're like, hey, let me help. So that's kind of where I discovered my love for early childhood. Then I went to, of course, the child development classes in high school, learned a little bit more. And I find out, like, people get paid to play with children. Getting paid to play is awesome, right? But just I forgot your question.
Just have fun with it, I think, is what you would tell your younger self, right? Just have fun with
fun with it, enjoy, and remember each stage and age is there's pros, there's cons, and then when you look, right? Looking ahead is hard for parents.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yes.
For me.
Looking long term. Yeah.
I always say, you were talking about the 8 different topics that parents as teachers covers, right? It doesn't matter how old your child is or if your child is in the program for 3 years, it's going to look different at every stage, right? So I think my big wish is that we could continue this up to high school.
A home visitor?
Yes, home visiting up to high school.
I think a lot of parents would be very much open to that idea.
You know, you start with a middle schooler, you're like, what am I doing now?
Right, yeah, exactly.
And then comes high school, and you're like, yeah, that's not
now
working
I
the
have
same.
questions. Isabel, what would you tell your younger self? And this, again, going back to this is your first kind of position in early childhood.
Yes. So previously, as I mentioned, I've been in social services for quite a while. Previously, I actually would work with older adults. So I'm working with the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think I would go back and tell myself, go into early childhood.
Yes, from the beginning.
So I could, I would have had more experience at this point in the field, and maybe seeing where else it would have taken me within the early childhood area. So I would definitely go back and tell myself, switch over.
Right.
Yeah.
And early childhood is not going away. If anything,
100%.
it's growing and growing. I mean,
absolutely.
Look at how our state is supporting, right?
Exactly, There's a lot of opportunity for growth. We didn't talk about the workforce and getting more folks into, which again, we hope to have a show where we have young people coming in here and talking about the why and the importance that they see in the field and filling some of the voids so that it's universal and no matter where you go, there's no such thing as a waiting list, right? You don't have to wait months and months to see somebody. Thank you so much. I have had such a great time. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we start wrapping up for the show?
Anything else about
I just want to say thank you for having us. As we mentioned, not a lot of people are familiar with home visiting, let alone what I do as a coordinated intake. They always look at me like, well, what is your role? So thank you.
No, thank you.
No, this has been an honor, David. Like I said, early childhood is my thing. And just getting the opportunity to share this with the community. So if anybody's watching this, please send it to someone else. Yes, that's how we find out as parents, right? Please share the information. I will leave you with one last question. You have a parent who, again, may or may not have some questions, but is hesitant to pick up the phone and call. It'll pass. How many times have we said? How many times have I said? It's a phase. It'll pass. We'll worry about it, later. Once they're in kindergarten, maybe first grade, we'll take a look and see where they're at. I mean, it's that initial kind of hump, right? What would you tell that parent? Yeah. So anytime I see a parent with a little one, I'm like, oh, do you know about the home visiting program?
Yeah.
And then I just share like what it entails, right?
Yeah.
Usually by then they're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I want to hear more.
Right.
But you're right. I think another thing that we can add on to what you just said is many families have the mentality of, well, my husband didn't talk until he was 6, or everybody in my family has walked that way, or didn't walk until they were however old. So I think it's important that parents meet other parents and their children. Because what we live, we think that's the norm.
Yes.
And it's not. It's
a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here, both of you. We'll hope to see you again sometime in the future.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thanks.
In our last show, we introduced you to some up-and-coming artists, some creative geniuses, children in our communities, and this time is no different. I want to thank the Early Learning Academy here in West Aurora School District 129, specifically the children in the fish and the monkey classroom. This art is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm feeling the love for fall. As always, towards the end of the show, we want to highlight some events happening in our community, some different programs and opportunities for us to engage with other parents. Look, there are so many things happening up over the next couple of weeks, months, around the fall. There's events indoor, outdoor. So I just want to highlight a couple of things. The first one that I want to highlight is not really around the fall or trick-or-treating or candy. It's a cars and coffee event happening here in our community at the Roundhouse. Great time to go out with family, look at some amazing cars, and if you're a coffee lover, this is a place to be. Of course, like I mentioned, there's trick-or-treating events throughout our communities. There's trunk or treats as well that are just a different kind of a setting for children. I love to participate in those because you can kind of get to know people and engage with the community in a different way. Another thing happening here in the area is Boo at the Zoo. I would invite you to look at your local zoo and see if there are any programs specific to the fall or Halloween. Those are usually a lot of fun. The animals seem to love it. There's also coming up at the beginning of November, Dia de los Muertos, which is November 1st, celebration of life. I love celebrating Dia de los Muertos, what it stands for. I'd invite you to look into that and see if there are any programs or events happening in your community. Lastly, here in the city of Aurora, as always, we have our First Friday event coming up the first Friday of the month of November, and I'm really looking forward to see what we have. Well, we made it to the end of another great show. Hopefully you were inspired and curious about what we learned today from our guests around home visiting. Let's continue to share that information. For me, I'll be here in a couple of weeks. We'll see you then. In the meantime, go enjoy the weather, the beautiful scenery that we're about to have as fall comes here into our communities. Take care.